Hey everyone, my name is William Overbeck and I'm taking over a family farm in southern Quebec in Saint-Hyacinthe. I'm working with my brother David and we grow corn, soybean and wheat on 420 hectares of land. For soybean, we grow about 200 hectares of identity preserved soybean, which means that it's non-GMO and it will be used to produce human foods such as tofu, miso or soy sauce. So it's a pleasure to have you on my farm this season, and I'll make sure to take as much video as possible to show you everything that we do on the farm to serve you the soybean that you want. So here I am in the tractor spreading some fertilizer in soybean. It's less important compared to other crops such as corn or cereals, but still some of our field are less rich than others and they still need some potassium and some phosphorus. So we're here spreading fertilizer in those fields. As I said, phosphorus and potassium in those fields make sure that there's enough for the soybean. We don't apply any nitrogen as the soybean will fix the nitrogen from the air itself. Hey, I'm back. So I'm here spreading fertilizer once again in the field. As you can see, we've got corn stubbles in front of us. That's the field. That's the field that's gonna go into soybean. We're spreading some phosphorus and potassium since these soils are pretty poor in these two nutrients, so we're going to apply them so that soybean gets enough, and then we put just the right amount so that what we take out in terms of soybean grain, while we give it back in terms of fertilizer. And as you can see, right, I've got my GPS. Since we have a receiver on the tractor that allows us to have always a GPS location of the tractor, and we have pre-made up lines that we follow to make sure that we go straight in the field and that we are as efficient as possible and always keeping the same distance between each passage in the field. So that pretty much sums this application. We'll see each other in another application. Cheers. Hey everyone, it's William. I'm back here in the field. What we can see in front of us is actually the field just before soybean is planted. This is our traditional way. You can see the soil, it's really soft. Really, the soil is powderized and it's easy to plant in. It's perfect conditions for soybean to be planted in. And if you dig just deep enough, which you can see is moisture, the soil is still moist deep down. So we're gonna plant the beans right into this moisture. This is, as I said, our traditional way of seeding soybean. We try new ways also, as the cereal rye method that I showed in some videos, where instead of working the field in the spring, we actually seed cereal in the fall, and we seed directly into the cereal rye. Here we are in the last operation of seeding. As you can see, this is baskets that we're gonna roll to make the soil level and flat, so that when we harvest the soybeans, it's easy to really cut the seeds that are just above the ground. They're gonna be a few centimeters above the ground, and we wanna make sure that the soil is flat to make sure that we can cut the whole plant and harvest all of the beans, all of the grains that comes from the plant. At the same time, if there's a rock on the soil, it's gonna get buried by the heavy baskets. So that's the last operation right after we seeded. That's what we do, and it's gonna make, and this will be the last operation of the seeding period. After that, the next step will be spraying any weeds that may come out. See you there. Hey everyone, I'm back and I wanted to show you the feature that we use on our farm. GPS technology that allows us to go into a straight line. Some of our tractors actually drive themselves, we don't need to drive them. But on this tractor specifically, we only have a GPS receiver, and this receiver will tell me where to go essentially. And as you can see, the blue in this screen represent what I did already, and then we follow a specific line where we actually go specifically at the width of our machinery. Right now I'm going at 7.6 meter width, which means that there's gonna be a straight line on my computer for every 7.6 meter, and this allows me to go perfectly straight and maximize my efficiency this way. So this is something that we use on the farm that's pretty useful. Most of our tractors have this technology included with them. Hey everyone, I'm back in the field. We are doing our first field scouting of the season. This field was planted earlier this week, maybe 4 days ago, and we are looking at the germination of the soybean itself. As you can see, the soybean starts to germinate. We can see it very well. The germ itself is maybe 1 or 2 centimeters long, and what we are looking also in the field itself is any weeds that could start to come out, because as soon as the wind stops blowing, you can hear, I'm sure, the wind right now. As soon as this stops, we're gonna put some herbicide that will reduce weeds germination and make sure that the soybean will be the plant that dominates the field, and that there's no other species that will reduce the amount of sunlight the soybean captures. So essentially, this is what we do usually, is we apply an herbicide early on before the soybean gets out of the ground to make sure that the weeds don't germinate and that the soybean early on is really alone in the field. So we'll catch up later on when we do other field scouting and possibly some pesticide application. Hey everyone, we're back now spraying some residual herbicide to make sure that the weeds don't germinate. So as you can see right behind me, we've got a sprayer that's hooked on our 6170R John Deere, and we apply some product at 125 liters per hectare of total volume, carrier volume, and we spray some herbicide, as I said, that's gonna do some residual effect and inhibits weed growth. So as you can see, this holds 1,000 gallons, so 4,000 liters of water, and we've got our main tank right there that holds about 3,000 gallons of water, and we're able to fill our sprayer this way, go to the field with the active ingredient inside of the sprayer and spray the whole the field. One tank of a sprayer does about 30 hectares, so we just go on and on and on, doing 30 hectares every time. So that's pretty much it. We're applying this before the soybean gets out of the ground and before the weeds germinate too. So it's a crucial moment, and we were able to do it this year. Stay tuned for more.